All right, it's Friday. Literally, we just rolled back into town. Got set up these studios because we have to talk about Toyota's inventory issues, Uber ads, and how much it costs to raise a child. Kyle.
Everywhere I go, people really want to know who I am.
There are a lot of variables in how much it costs to raise a child.
Billions. We're going to call it billions. I don't know why, but I feel like that's the number.
Yeah, somewhere between everything I have, and just below everything I have, I think is my guess. We were on the ground all day in Philly yesterday. The Syracuse crew drove down 4 or 5 hours. Kyle flew in from Nashville. Michael Cirillo flew in from Dallas. Anne-Marie flew in from Austin. And we just
just ran straight past that.
Hold on. I was just dropping a little nugget in there.
Just nugget.
Say who? Just say what?
He said Anne-Marie. That's not someone I know.
All right, let's talk about Anne-Marie.
We're really excited. Obviously, we've got a growing team through the summer. We've grown our team. We started with just Paul, myself, Danielle, and Zach, a designer, early this year. We added writers, we added content people, we added a whole 9 yards. And as of Wednesday, Anne-Marie Johnson has joined the team as our director of partner relationships, and excited to see how she just cares and curates the community, both on the industry partner side, but she's going to help out with the dealer side as well, because she knows the dealer network, and
it may actually see her on some content.
Is gonna be really fun.
Yeah, which is a great reason in and of itself to come to ASOTU actually,
right?
Meet the dang team, because we're going to be there in full force, doing our best to serve you. We got final plans laid out. We met with the sign people and the AV people and the venue people and the hotel people. The hotel is just about booked. We had 196 rooms. There's like 10 left, something like that. We do have another hotel to go to, so there's plenty of space. But the main hotel just shows like people are buying tickets, booking hotel rooms. We got hundreds of people after just a couple of days. Hundreds of people are coming to the Monday night party. That some dealerships literally signed up their whole staff and like, we're bringing everybody in the dealership to the Monday night event. So if you haven't gotten your tickets for ASOTUCon, go to ASOTUCon.com and get your tickets, book your hotel rooms so you can be ready for this major throwdown. It's about to happen in just over 3 weeks from now. If you're a dealer in the greater Philadelphia area, make sure, where can they book that? Go to Eventbrite.
We need to make an easy place.
Sure,
I'll make an easy place today. I promise. By Monday, if you're like, golly, these people, they don't make easy URLs. We're going to do it. Don't worry.
We're going to make it easier. But for now, you can go to Eventbrite and just search Party with the Industry. And you can come for free to the Monday Night Entertainment, which is going to be sick. It's going to be crazy. We're blowing through this because we got back this morning. We're unpacking all our stuff. We're setting up our camera supplies, getting our white balance so we don't look yellow or like Oompa Loompas. And we have some news to talk about before we jump in to the All Things Used Car Clubhouse room, which is going to be nuts in and of itself. We ended last week's room with a throwdown. Who's better? What's better? Penny perfect or some kind of range for a trade value to give a customer? And we got Brian Kramer and David Long on opposite sides, and we're going to go a little counterpoint. So if you have the Clubhouse app or you can get it, just get in Clubhouse in about 12 minutes from now, 9 a.m. Eastern, and just search All Things Used Cars. We'll be in there with our boy David Long throwing down. Let's talk about some news.
Let's get after it.
All right. Toyota and Lexus new head of sales, Bob Hollis, said he doesn't believe inventory levels will rise at their OEM dealerships for another full year, in comments made at a press association event yesterday. He said third quarter 2023 is when we can expect inventory levels to get back to somewhat stable and standard. He said they've been as low as a 36-hour supply. I've never heard a supply measured in hours.
Unbelievable. Well, that in parallel to actually we've seen our highest day supply overall in the industry for the year. It just came out that Charlie Chesborough this week of Cox Automotive said that we have over a 50-day supply for the first time this year, which is really interesting because it looks like you've got some manufacturers that have supply and have the available ground inventory, and some manufacturers like Lexus and Toyota that are still struggling to keep up. I know multiple Toyota dealerships that have sold 100% through their pipeline and will not have any on-ground cars for, if they sold no more, at least 45 days. So there's definitely, depending on if you're a CDJR or a Ford or a Toyota or a Mazda dealer, you're dealing with different elements of this, but it's just to show that there are still things happening from an inventory perspective that you can be talking with your customers about.
In his comments, Hollis also said that he doubts automakers will return to pre-pandemic practices of overproducing and discounting because consumers are more comfortable with the online shopping process. To that, I say I disagree.
Yeah,
because of this little thing called human nature. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, pressure from investors, right? All these things.
The stock market.
We just keep going down the list of okay. So he also, talking about EVs, had a few interesting comments about Jim Farley, the Ford CEO, because he worked with Farley on when Toyota launched the Scion brand. I didn't know Farley worked with Scion, but I was a big Scion fan. I owned the very first XB. I bought it right from the factory, my first new car. And he says, my experience of over 31 years in the industry about EVs, he said, when the government starts telling consumers what to do and what they should have, consumers push back. I like that he used that phrase. I think he's been paying attention. He said,
he's like, these people over at ASOTU, they got something.
Let's just work it in there a little. It's like the little Illuminati sign. Anyone says push back, we're going to immediately say because they're trying to promote ASOTU. Right. And when it's talking about getting into EVs, he says, we may not be the first, but we will move the best. We might not move first, but we'll move best. And he had a couple comments about Jim Farley's comments, and he says he thinks he took a page out of Elon Musk's school of creating chatter. I was like,
I'm going to call that a very, very political way of shots fired.
Saying BS. He says, the guy is brilliant. As I'm quoting now, the guy is brilliant. The guy's a great car guy, a great dude. But let me tell you, some of the things he said, well, we're still questioning that as well. So I think the point here is every expert in this industry has an equal and opposite expert. And so you're going to have to make moves that you think are the best for your store in the time that you have to make them. Same as always. All right, let's move on. We got two new fun stories. So
we only got 10 minutes, so I can't.
I know. We're just giving you a fire hose. I'm just going to go then. Uber and Lyft are diving deeper into the ad business, citing it as the potential next billion-dollar revenue stream for the public companies. So with the announcement of Lyft Media, Lyft is looking to capitalize on its acquisition of another company that makes basically car top screens, right? So you can see the ads as you go by. They also say they're going to sell ads on the screens. They're going to sell them on in-car tablets that riders use, digital displays by their bike docking stations, and through in-app sponsorships for eating and things like that.
Okay.
So
yeah, because literally ad space is revenue generation. It's been this way.
Sure.
Every time something new, it's like, oh, we have websites, ad space. Oh, we have MySpace, ad space. Oh, Facebook, ad space. Oh, Lyft, everywhere they're at, ad space. But what's really funny to me is it's like they've got this whole new novel idea. Like, oh my goodness, we got a company.
I got this idea.
And we're gonna put ads on top of cars because taxis have never done that in their history. Which is not true. If you ever been to New York City, you got that little triangle thing on every single car. Now I get that it's like a digital display, so there's some difference, but you had to know this was coming. You had to know it was coming.
Yeah, Uber's already been doing this, selling ads, especially through the Uber Eats app. So if you have Uber Eats, you realize that you're going to be served ads as you're shopping through the platform. Yeah. They talked about a portion of revenue going to some of the drivers. So it's kind of cool. I think that the Uber and Lyft drivers will actually get some ad revenue, to make it more attractive to drive on that platform. So I think that's a creative way to get more drivers.
Yeah.
And I think all of this boils down to this. So Uber saying it'll be $1 billion revenue stream for them by 2024. Lyft is not commenting on what they think. They're newer to the game. But the bottom line is this: attention is the thing that can be, really leveraged against. If something has someone's attention, then those eyeballs are worth something to an advertiser. So, I think they definitely have unique insights. Right? They know behaviors. They know where people are traveling.
They know where they're going.
They know what they're eating. right? They know what they like to eat. You like Chinese food? We're showing you Chinese food ad, right? While you are just getting off of the airport. I don't know. Just put it together. So again, another interesting avenue of advertising with a different data set overlay that, could present probably some good opportunities for any major industry that advertises a lot.
For auto dealers, massive opportunities, because you start to understand user behavior, what they like to do, where they go, and you can segment them based on their interests for the type of vehicle that they're looking at. So if you have high level of ad creative associated with vehicle specifics that can market to a specific audience, there it goes.
Funny thing is, you know exactly who's in the vehicle.
It's unbelievable.
You know their name, their age, where they live, where they are. Like, you know a whole lot of specific about that one person.
This is not like the Facebook email that you used 33 emails ago that you still hang on just for your Facebook. This is like, you have to keep this updated.
Right. Oh, so it's a really, imagine that. Like, hey, I just bought this wallet, and they're like, hey, the same company makes a belt, bro. And I'm like, scan the QR code. I got nothing else to do. Buy it on Amazon.
Captive audience just sitting there.
Man.
Wow.
Speaking of a captive audience.
Stop.
Segue.
Time.
It's like a captive audience or a take captive audience.
Emphasis on the word root, captive.
There you
right?
go.
So, So basically, the Brookings Institute released a new study saying it cost a middle-income household over $300,000 to raise a child. After a recent inflation adjustment, the number was determined that a married middle-income couple with 2 children would spend $310,000. Actually, I'm just looking at this now. 2 children. Well, then that's $150,000. Well, that's $150,000.
$150,000.
I don't know. I didn't do enough math.
$18,000 a year for 18 years.
Carry the one. Apply the Pythagorean theorem.
It depends on like middle school, whether you got a football player or a pianist, right? And whether
I can tell you what
food they eat,
And David Long will tell you this: that number probably quadruples the second they're like, "But I want to ride horses."
Right. Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, I want to ride horses, or
I want to do ballet. I want to do the competition. I want to be on the travel team.
Yeah, private school.
I want to be a pro streamer.
That one's perfect, actually.
The estimate covers a wide range of expenses. They calculated housing, food, clothing, diapers, haircuts, sports equipment, dance lessons, and other costs. Isabel Sawwell, a senior fellow at Brookings, said a lot of people are going to think twice before they have their first child or a subsequent child because everything is costing more. Well, look, I think Kyle and I are going to say this to that last statement. You're never ready. You never have enough money.
Ever.
Have some kids. Have some kids, because children are just a blessing if you choose to see them that way. For generations in the past, children and posterity and legacy is the primary way we can derive meaning from our lives. So don't listen to the Brookings Institute and get all down about it. Have some kids and get on the grind and make some more money, right?
There you go.
There's plenty of money out there.
He said, get on the grind. It's Friday. Let's get going.
All right, so we obviously have a lot to do. We're bouncing into the clubhouse room. We got to make some more because we have cumulatively a lot of kids, so 300, 600, 900. Get out there, make a Friday happen, and we will see you sometime soon.